Welcome, guys. We just want to go ahead and get started tonight. The last I left you, we kind of left on a cliffhanger. You guys had been traveling for several days. I believe you have about 9 days left in the journey, I believe, to 9 days left in the journey, I believe, to the independent kingdom of Independence in western Missouri. And you'd run into a battle scene after hearing jet fighters flying over Samus's, and you guys had happened upon a carnage scene between a bunch of UA enforcer robots that were burning hulks and wreckage of Samus power armor and dead bodies everywhere, and there was I believe, 8 Samson power armors that had been destroyed, and there was 2 glitter boys that had been destroyed. You were able to salvage one of the Samson power armors was heavily damaged. You also rescued one living person off the field and got him to a little shanty town down the road about 3 days from that journey. Hands of the elder of the town, who happened to be a mystic. Albert Ross had paid for his services to keep the man alive. You have the power armor in the back of your Mountaineer ATV that's been specially modified from Tolkien. And you'd went about, I believe, 2 days. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe about 2 days, and you were getting close to the evening when you happened upon this strange duck feathered dinosaur looking thing. There was 3 of them coming out of a cliff. So you guys, as it goes through here, just role play it as the way you want, and let me know how you'd want to proceed.
Does anybody have any kind of lore on that? Does anybody know what they are?
Does anybody have monsters or dimensional creatures as a skill?
I'm looking right at the Wilderness Scout. Do you know what that is?
You're not coming through.
I have demons and monster lore. Does that count?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that with a 5% penalty because it's not exactly a demon.
It just says demon and monster.
So go ahead and roll that in your in the dice rolls up.
Life before.
Me neither. And I've seen some things.
Okay, and what am I rolling?
You'll roll 1d100, please.
Minus 5%?
Yeah, or minus 5. Okay.
I don't know if that worked. Let me try it again.
Just type in 1d100 and then just minus 5 off of it in penalty. So lower is better.
31.
Okay. So what was your skill level on that? I don't have your sheet in front of me.
40?
Okay. So you know that you've seen it because it's native to this region. They call this a carnivorous dinosaur. It is a DB. You also know that it is an MDC creature. They're not real easy to kill. They love crops. They love lots of different fruits and vegetables as their things that they like to eat. They creatures and sea monsters, water monsters for that, giant water striders, dragonfish. They also like to eat the horned demon fish. They're basically, they like to eat seafood for the most part. So they are omnivorous, but everything like that. You also know that if you do not shoot at them, 9 out of 10 times they're not going to bother you unless they're agitated.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, guys, I think we might need to sneak around these guys. Let's not engage.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Are they?
Yeah, it's
carnivorous?
Guys, let's not engage.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Are they?
Yeah, it's
carnivorous.
You piss him off, he will be. So
Do they
let's
eat
not.
people?
They could, but if we leave him
Do they eat-
alone, he'll
do they
just
eat
munch on the
technology?
crops. We just is one of those things you just don't poke the bear, or we leave him
Do they eat-
alone, he'll
do they
just
eat
munch on the
technology?
crops. We just is one of those things you just don't poke the bear or the big ugly duckbill thing.
Why would you ever poke a bear? That doesn't make
Exactly.
any sense.
Exactly. We're not poking this either.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So as
Sense.
Exactly. We're not poking this either.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, as you guys are making your decision here, and it sounds like you're not going to engage them, you get a transmission over your radio, and it's from Albert Ross in the truck in front of you, going, what do you guys want from Albert Ross in the truck in front of you? Going, what do you guys want to do? Because
Mhm.
he's in front of us. He's still got the lights shining on him and everything like that. And he's like, uh,
It's still
I
dark
don't want
out?
to back it. Yeah, it's
I thought it was like
you can
morning, dusk.
it's
Or dusk.
the tree canopy. You know, you ever drove through a bunch of trees right before night and it's dusk with the light out? You guys kind of drove a little extra long because you stopped a couple more times than you wanted to and everything like that. So the tree canopy is actually making it darker than it is outside right now. So he turned his lights on when you're going through the. Uh, he says, "Do you want me to shut the lights off? Do you just want to wait and see if they go on by?"
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So the lights on his deuce and a half shut off. You hear his motor power down, and he's just sitting there. Is there anything that you?
Found these creatures? Do we have to sit here and wait for them to
Well,
notice
okay.
us?
Think 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 of it this way. I mean, think of them as they're down the road a ways.
Okay.
They're evidently hunting for food. One of them is smaller than the other two. In front of you, headed towards you, they are like crossing the road.
Okay, so we
Um,
could wait for him to cross. Okay.
right, right. It's kind of like, wildlife or deer or something crossing the road. They're probably, 200 yards. You can just barely see them. I mean, if it was a deer, you couldn't see them, but you can see that they're over maybe 20 foot or 10 foot to 15 foot tall down the road. And they're crossing the road. They're just ambly. They know you're there, but they're not really paying that big of attention to you.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. Okay. So, yeah, I say now's a good time for us to just kind of take a minute, have a snack, drink some water, review our plans, whatever, and wait for them to cross the road.
Okay.
I'm going to
Well,
pull out a notebook and do like a quick sketch and jot down the information that was shared about the creature for my references.
okay. You can pull that out. What does everybody else want to do?
My guy is curious about these things.
Oh
So
dear.
he is taking notes. Do they have the tapetum lucidum?
I'm sorry. What? Say that again, please.
Have the tapetum lucidum.
What
Eye
is that?
shine. Do they have eye shine?
Eye shine.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
Okay.
do. So they at least see in the they that they have the ability to see at night pretty well. They see more in black and white than they do color, more in black and white than they do color. But they're not the super reflective, but they do have that reflective quality to it.
Well, minimal night vision, maybe.
Yeah, minimal. They are
Okay.
kind of they're kind of a scary sight to see. They are
Okay.
kind of they're kind of a scary sight to see. But they're so far away and they're not paying you that much attention. They just kind of give you an uneasy feeling in your stomach.
Mm.
I'm thinking maybe we should just steer clear of them and give them the right of way.
Okay.
They might seem peaceful, but I have a fear clear of them and give them the right of way.
Okay.
They might seem peaceful, but I have a feeling, like you said earlier, don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear.
I see the
So
look of curiosity in his eye, and I say, you're not going to go pet it.
Well, no. By looking at this, the way I'm
You're not going to go pet it.
well, no. By looking at this, the way I'm seeing this, my trainer in the wilderness skills I got always told me how if you see a mama bear with two little cubs, you go the other way.
Exactly.
This is what this is
Fantastic.
reminding me of.
As
So
long as you're not going to pet him. Just don't pet him.
we're not no. I'm not gonna pet them. I'm gonna treat them
Okay.
like bears.
Awesome.
Birds. Hey, at least these ones don't fly. That would be disturbing.
Definitely observing these very closely, kind of holding tight to my gun because I've never seen these before and it's kind of weird to me.
Okay. I believe you're having problems with your mic. New mic setup you have. You can't keep muting it because it's going to cause you to redoing it. So just you'll have to mute off the base pad or that, but you can't mute off Discord with that. So you'll probably want to go back out and back in. Sorry guys, a technical glitch there. So with that, wait about a long time after that, and you get a transmission on the radio going from Albert Ross going, "Hey, what do you guys want to do now? Do we want to go?"
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys fire up and the lights come back on. You don't see anything down. It'll be dark in probably the next 10 minutes. Do you want to go 10 minutes down the road and then pull over, or do you want to maybe go a half hour down the road? What are you thinking?
Well, I guess I really wasn't thinking. I'm so caught up in drawing this damn thing in my notebook. I wasn't even paying attention to how dark it's gotten outside.
Would 10 minutes further in these vehicles take us out of the woods?
No, you'll be spending the night in the woods again because, everything's overgrown.
Where?
So, I mean, you're going to be camping in the woods no matter what. It's just where exactly you're going to camp, or you want to be an extra 10 or 30 minutes away from these things, or do you want to?
Well, if
I'd
we
say we get
travel
on down the road a
further,
little bit.
yeah, if we traveled further, do we see anything down the path that looks like a clearing or someplace that we could that's more defensive that we could, take and camp there?
You don't see anything. It's just trees.
Okay.
And there's little pull offs every once in a while, like a little clearing where you can obviously tell maybe somebody had pulled in once before, but this road right here is not traveled as much as you think. For you guys the other day, that's something that like I was telling you, is most of you had never seen anything like that. So it's just pretty much wilderness and a old path road. So
Of my votes, we
Look.
just go on down the road a little bit because those things are big and ugly, and I don't want any part of it for better stuff.
you guys want to go a half hour, an hour, 15 minutes? I just need a time frame.
I'd say a half hour.
Does the path look straight at least?
It's been kind of windy the whole way because you're going around hillsides and
Gotcha.
across
Okay.
creeks and things like that. So I mean, a straight shot is not really happening a whole lot right now.
Oh, then it would be slow because there's turns, uneven ground.
Yeah, most
If we
definitely.
go slow in the woods, we should be okay. But there's more things in the woods than these things, if memory serves me correctly. So
I'd rather
moving
take my
on.
shoot easier, though. These suckers
Wh-
don't die.
That's what I was thinking, Des. These things are big enough that I think anything creeping up on us, they might scare away.
Yeah, we'll let them do the job. Save our ammo.
Okay, I don't know. Desert, Jenny, you have anything you want to add? Since you are the scout, spent your life in the wilderness.
I'm just gonna say that I'm happy to lead the way or,
Okay. Well, let me roll. And I'm going to put you guys, let's just say an hour down the road. How's that sound?
Sounds better than where we're at.
Okay. So it's down the road. And Albert Ross comes on the radio and says, "I see some lights up ahead." And his vehicle's slowing down.
How many lights do you see? What kind of lights?
He says it looks like a campfire about 150 yards. They most definitely have seen us by now. 150
Oh,
feet or 300.
okay. What do you want to do, guys? Looks like we found some people.
What do you expect us to do? We do the same thing every time, right?
Well, not necessarily. We could,
Run away!
We didn't time. We stuck around and helped a town. So,
We almost
we
died.
could stop. We did almost die. Well,
Well,
they've
I'm
seen
thinking
us, though.
let's let them make the first move. Let's mind our own business and let them mind their own business, and hopefully we outnumber them, and we'll just have to keep vigilant watch.
Are we going to drive on past and go find another place to park? Or you
Yeah,
want to just stop right here and see if they come over to our camp to visit?
Are they moving, or are we the only ones moving?
They have a
Well,
campfire. They can't.
it's hard for you guys to see anything because there's a deuce and a half of Albert Ross's sitting in front of your guys' windshield because you really can't see what he's seeing.
No.
He's just radioed it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to get out of the vehicle and kind of walk around and, up by his just to see what he's talking about. And he's almost
he
to
out
a
of his-
full stop. You guys are about, let's just say about 300 feet away. So 100 yards away.
I'm gonna take his word for it. I don't need to get out and see it.
100 yards, 100 yards. It's 300 feet. That's a lot
Are
of
they
feet.
walking?
It's like a
Are we able to? I mean,
Oh.
That's what I was asking. Do we
it's
have to
been-
engage? I don't know. I'm peopled out.
I hear they are tasty.
People?
We are not cannibals, sir.
Well, no, I'm not either. I just hear that
Talking to.
Exactly.
Just
You
talk
see
to
them
all of
too?
you.
I think maybe we need to let you out, sir. I'm beginning to feel like a juicy steak.
I think he needs to use their friends or something.
Let's see. The Techno Wizard Cannibal. I love it. All right. So I really do need to know what you guys are going to do because Albert's just kind of rolled to a stop going, hey guys, what now? Do we drive on by or, I'm always game to stop. And he says, on these roads, seeing people most of the time, safety and numbers type stuff, especially if you're
Oh.
sleeping and stuff. But I'm with you guys. I've got a, I've got a fusion detonation destructo battery back here. So it's your call.
Oh, fine. We can go meet them.
why don't we reach out on the radio and see if someone's there? I mean, someone's out there. I mean, I know we were keeping quiet. Someone's there. I mean, someone's out there. I mean, I know we were keeping quiet, but we see
Well, they're
them.
obviously.
Do-
I mean, if he
do we
sees
wanna
them,
reach
they're
out?
there.
Or we're thinking that these are the ones that were shooting before. I don't know. Are we far enough away from that we would think that these are different people?
Well, you don't.
Away from that we would think that these are different people?
Well, you don't know because you can't see them. I mean, you are at night. You're shining a light down towards that way, and you are behind Albert Ross's truck, and you really don't know what's going on. So,
So what I'm
Um,
asking,
and you really don't know what's going on. So,
asking is how long have we been on the road driving? And how, like, guesstimate, like how much distance have we covered from where we heard the explosions and firefight to here? Has
Four-
it heard the explosions and firefight to here? Has it
4.5
been, like,
days.
okay, yeah. So
'Cause it-
it's not.
'cause-
This is different people.
Yeah, it's different people because you're 4.5 days past that battle zone because it took almost 3 days to get to that little rinky-dinky village. Almost 3 days to get to that little rinky-dinky village that Albert Ross had known about, and then a day and a half probably. Well, you're 2 days now. Once you go to sleep, it'll be 2 days in the morning from past that, so it'll be pretty close to. I believe it's 7 days left on your journey. It'll be pretty close to. I believe it's 7 days left on your journey.
Yeah.
So Albert's like, I'm starting to see movement a little bit.
Yeah, we might need to make a decision real quick. Indecision is the decision. They're going to come in thinking we're up to no good if we don't make a decision.
Do we have a outdoor speaker so we could broadcast and ask them out loud, or we don't want to do that, or we're thinking they're hostile, friendly, just as
We have no
stupid as
idea.
us?
Okay, so Desiree would probably know this because they've been out in the wilderness a lot in their lives and stuff like that. At 300 feet, you guys are in weapons range of pretty much a lot of things, and you've not been fired upon. You have not seen anybody come. Ross has seen some movement. So right now, hostile intentions might have happened really quick. Especially in Rift's Earth. A lot of people have, if they're going to be violent and they see a juicy target, they would have.
Ammunition or weapons that reach that far.
Right.
Possibly. Anywho,
Just
my
remember a lot
guy.
of.
Mhm.
No, I was just saying. Just remember, a lot of people that are in Rift Surf don't even have MDC weapons. So if it's just basic travelers, that chances of them having MDC weapons are pretty small.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's go meet the neighbors, and my guy will get out of the vehicle.
Oh, you're getting out?
Yeah, they're moving. I'm assuming they're walking. I mean, you said they're within like the vehicles. I'm not the one that dies. Ha ha ha.
Great.
All right. Kill him,
What's
but
funny?
still.
Did I say that out loud?
I believe you just did. Okay.
Yeah, I'm tailing you guys, but I'm super cautious. So kind of on edge.
Well,
Let's
someone's
go
got
meet
to
him.
drive the vehicle, but he's in the back of the other vehicle taking care of the guy that's bleeding.
Oh,
Was I
guy,
the only one that was able to drive?
the guy
I don't
that's
know.
bleeding got the guy at that last little town.
Oh, okay. So we don't have him anymore.
No, you guys left him there because it was going to take 8 or 9 days of mystical recovery to get him back to health because he was on death's door.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So Albert Ross actually paid to have him.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked Newton. Newton, what are you rolling on? Are you getting out of the vehicle going with them, or are you gonna? What's your actions?
Yeah. If everybody's going, I think I will cautiously remain outside of the vehicle in the shadows and just kind of stay back a little bit. I want to stay with the vehicles is what I want to do, but I will be outside the vehicle.
Okay. All right. So you guys get out. Albert rolls down his window and says, "You guys headed up there, or is that what we're going to do?" Kind of points, and lights have come on a vehicle up there, but they're not.
We
The
see,
vehicle's not moving.
right. Do we see like shadows moving in front of the lights? Meaning
There,
like
there,
they're
there, there's some movement going on up there, yes, but it's not in. It's like an alert that you're thinking about them, but you can see things moving around up there. But again, your headlights, you're just seeing flickers and stuff like that. So
okay. Probably shouldn't use magic. Don't know if they're like the mean
that
people.
didn't work out well last time.
Yeah.
Keep that under your hat just in case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looking for
all
a
right, so
stick.
looking for a stick. They're plentiful all the way around, of all different sizes and shapes.
I have no idea how to use these things. I have no idea how to use these things. You guys know how to use a stick? Yeah.
What are you doing with the stick?
I don't know.
You gonna
I
whack
guess-
somebody with it?
What do you mean whack? What is whack?
Are you using it for self-defense? For self-defense?
Is that what we use
What-
sticks for? I don't know.
I don't know. Why did you pick
just-
up the stick?
I'm looking for one. I'm thinking that's what we're supposed to do is like pick up a stick. Like,
Okay. Well, then
There
that's
is
for
one.
protection. Yes, and that's for whacking people. If it comes to
Right.
it, I'll show you how to whack. Well, then
There
that's
is
for
one.
protection. Yes, and that's for whacking people. If it comes to
Right.
it, I'll show you how to whack them.
And he puts his hand across his throat, like whacking people. Like, eek.
I'm
Or do you
assuming that you guys.
and he does a stabbing motion with
I'm
or do you
assuming that you guys.
and he does a stabbing motion with like he's having a stick and stabbing somebody.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you guys have got your helmets for your armor, but you've not put them on. And you've got some weapons with you. It's for your armor, but you've not put them on. And you've got some weapons with you as you walk up, or did you guys jump out without weapons and helmets? And
Oh no, we jumped out with weapons for sure. Sorry, should have said that. We definitely have our weapons, but we're not trying to look like we're ready to blow anybody up because we really have our weapons, but we're not trying to look like we're ready to blow anybody up because we are, I guess, trying to make friends.
all right,
Just Josh, I know weapons.
Newton. Everybody's kind of doing their thing there. What are you
Mm.
thinking? I mean, everybody's kind of doing their thing there. What are you thinking? I mean, you want to go up that way? You're going to lead the way, or what are you going to
I'm
do?
cautiously going to stay behind.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
All
I
right,
got
I'm
one
gonna.
of those.
All right,
I
so,
take out my torch, flashlight.
all right,
I
so,
take out my torch, flashlight.
oh, your flashlight. Okay, you
Yeah.
turning it on. Okay. Anybody else doing the same thing, or you got a IR, infrared goggles or anything like that?
I'll just follow
Excellent question.
torchlight.
Okay. So you got as you get about halfway there, this deep growly voice. Actually, does anybody have detect ambush?
Ooh, I think I do. Hang on. Let me go back. Where is it at? Yep, I do.
Oh, my survival knife.
Do I need to?
One. Yeah, it'll be 100 with the number below the number you have.
I don't know if I did that right. I hit the wrong key, didn't I? Hold on.
Yeah.
1D100. Oh yeah, I hit the equal. Oh my gosh. There.
No.
That's there.
Okay. So what's your detect ambush skill? What's the number it says
45.
on it? Okay, you did not make it. So this deep voice says, "Stop right there. What are you guys doing?"
Stop it.
I'm stopping, yeah.
Desiree?
We don't mean you guys.
He goes, this deep, almost growly voice says, "They don't have weapons in their hands, sir." And this other voice comes across, goes, "It's all right." And a man steps out from behind one of the trees, about 30 or 40 feet up in between that. He steps out and he is wearing Crusader armor, and he's got a cybernetic helmet on. You guys would you would kind of know this, Desiree, and possibly Newton would know this, but he steps out. And he's got a cape on, a cloak, and it's pretty ornate. He's got a vibro sword at his side, and he says, "Sorry, friends." It says, "Sorry, friends. It's just the night is so weird out here sometimes, and you never know who you're going to run into." He says, "My name is Galahad Prime, Sir Galahad Prime. I'm a cyber knight."
Nice to meet you.
Galahad Prime. I'm a cyber knight.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, we were a little cautious as well. We just ran into some of those big duckbill things back there, so we're just glad you're not them.
He said, "Moonhal, go let Maya and Jack know that we're going to have guests here. Please go get your vehicles and come on this way." and he looks right at you and Gage, and he says, you bear the clothing of a techno wizard. Are you a techno wizard?"
Yeah.
Then he says, "You may be of service to and let the others bring up the stuff. I may need some help repairing a device, or we have a locator beacon we're trying to find. Roll me a perception check, Gage and Jenny, and it needs to be an 8 or better on a d20."
Magic or
The introduction and the Cyberknight and the bring your vehicles up. I would have hopped into the cab and started the truck and waited for
Okay.
Albert to proceed.
Does anybody want to tell Albert what's going on because he was with the trucks, or just we'll retcon that a little bit and let say Desiree tell him that, hey, they're friendly, come on up?
Yep, that'll work.
Okay. So as you guys walk up, as you guys go back to get the vehicles, and as you're walking up, and as you get close, you got your light. Your light glints across the arm patch of the wolfen, because Moose 7.5 feet tall,
Hmm.
and his patch gauge is a shield with 3 yellow stripes in it, a blue shield with 3 yellow stripes on the arm. And as you draw closer, you get closer to the fire. You notice that they are in a Bradley, and probably, well, I won't say what it is. It's some kind of military vehicle. It's got a turret on top of it. It's got half tank treads. It's got a turret on top of it. It's got half tank treads in the back, or it's got tank treads, I'm sorry, on the whole front thing. It's pretty decently armored, and it's got a cannon with a railgun on top of it as well.
Wow.
Did you catch that, Gage, what I told you? Gun on top of it as well.
Wow.
Did you catch that, Gage, what I told you?
Moonhall is a wolfen, 3 yellow stripes on arm.
Hmm.
Sir Galahad Prime is a Cyberknight, and he told May and Jack to follow Moonhall.
Okay. I didn't know if you caught the patch. Okay. I didn't know if you caught the patch, if you remember the significance of that symbol.
Well, the guy that was injured had him.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you caught that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ziggy,
'Cause
turn off the alarm.
You got an awesome roll.
Rolls for perception.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So it was actually Crimson Elite that I should have told you that, or Jenny. Sorry about
But that's
that.
okay. No, that's all right.
So Jenny, you noticed that it's got the patch with the 3 stripes through it.
And do I know what that means?
It was on the injured man that you picked up in the last episode. The mercenary company that had engaged coalition with they had the glitter boy and the Samson armor.
Gotcha. So should I kind of like nudge and kind of like I guess I'll do that. I'll just kind of give you a little nudge, like, hey, look,
Who you nudging?
Well,
Gage.
yeah,
Okay.
you other 3 aren't there at this moment, so.
Okay.
Oh, you're right.
Anyway, as you get closer, the vehicles are coming up. It doesn't take that long. They've off the road. One would have to go across the road, but another one could pull in closer to their little fire area they have there. And you notice, all of you, I'm just going to speak to all of you, there is 4 people total. One is a wolfen. One is a wolfen. One is a human cyberknight. Another one is another human. And then this other one has got a bunch of gizmos and gadgets connected all over their body, but they kind of look like an operator in a body, but they kind of look like an operator in a way, but just a little bit different. They've got some rune symbols and some magic. Well, Gage, you would notice this. They've got, the symbols of artificers and somebody that tries to artificers and somebody that tries to blend, not technically a techno wizard, but somebody that repairs machinery, but is also familiar with energies and things like that. So, but anyway, they Sir Galahad. So, but anyway, they Sir Galahad or Galahad looks at you and says, "Please join us at the fire. We had just sat down for the evening. Maybe you can give us some information, hopefully." And
Like you're here
he
looking for a missing comrade?
we're actually looking for 12 comrades.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where 12 are. But just one. But I'm pretty
He
sure
said,
the other ones are all dead, if I remember correctly, which is not a well, it is a possibility, technically speaking. But
as soon as the
it,
words dead come out of your mouth, jumps up. He's got his hand on his sword. The Cyber Knight is on his feet looking at us going, "What? What are you
I didn't
talking
kill
about?"
him. I
We
didn't kill
didn't
him.
do it.
Found him that way. He
Uh,
was injured. We
everybody,
saved him, pulled him out of the Samson armor, and we took him to the nearby village, next one on the road, whatever you call this. And we have Shaman taking care of him because he was gonna die. Hopefully, we saved his life, but it's gonna take a while for him to get healed up. So by the time
You saved his life. I stuck my fingers in that man's fucking throat hole and kept his blood pumping for damn near what felt like 50 miles, even though it wasn't, but it was long enough to get him from where we found him to the town of Grove Spring, where we were able to get him some help. So yeah, we did save his life.
so the Cyber Knight's like, "Okay, everybody settle down." And about this time, Albert Ross is coming across the road, and he looks up and he's like, "What did I miss?" As he's staring at the tents, everything like that. And you spoke really rapidly there, Newton, and he's catching it. He's like, "Looks like I missed something."
he was a spicy antelope.
Cyber. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said it was a spicy antelope.
Casey.
Friends of the gentleman that we helped. These appear to be his party, and they got a little tense when they found out that they had lost some of their friends. So we were just letting them know what happened. We just came up on it, and we there was one that was badly wounded. And, just let them know where we took him.
We
Okay.
did see some coalition searching the area, though.
Well, why were they
And there
all
was
the Cyber Knight Galahad looks at you guys and says, "They were all dead? What happened? What was the situation? What did it look like? What's going on?"
Well, it sounded like, I mean, we didn't get to see exactly what happened, but there was aircraft overhead, and there was bombing, and there were bodies. And by the
there
time
was
we
That's
got
assuming.
there, that's what we found.
Yep, that's assuming that was the result of all the.
There, that's what we found.
Yep, that's assuming that was the result of all the air traffic and jets and stuff and the explosions and stuff like that.
Took us a while to get there, but that's what
He
we
was the only
found when we got there.
Yeah, he was the only one surviving.
But that's what
He
we
was the
found
only
when we
sur-
got there.
Yeah, he was the only one surviving that we heard. And
Wh- What was his name on his uniform? Was his dog tag there? What machines was he in? Did he come out of a Blue Glitter Boy armor? Did he come out of, you said Samson armor? The Blue Glitter Boy armor? Did he come out of, you said Samson armor? Uh, did you
yeah, the
guys
Samson
get
power armor.
you're getting the feel right now? I mean, questions are flying back and forth. That didn't just come from Galahad. That came from um, the guy named Jack, and Moonhowl's looking at him going, named Jack, and Moonhowl's looking at him going, um, the Wolfen's looking at you guys going, there's questions flying back and forth, so all that barrage came out there. You can see that there is true concern and the wrenching of their heart. These people,
Or we just we saw somebody that needed help, and we helped. Did any of you guys happen to notice? I just turned to the rest of the party. Did any of you guys happen to notice anything identifying about him, or do you remember anything
If
that'll help these guys?
if members 5 suits of that same power armor flew overhead and away from us. I don't know if that was toward the conflict or away, but 5 suits flew overhead. Now, if they were flying away, they're survivors and comrades of yours. But we continued on, and then we ran into the damaged Samson power armor and found your friend. I don't remember if he had his dog tags or not.
We can tell you
And
where we left him,
he
though,
was
who we left him
unconscious.
with,
Yeah,
Well,
the
yes,
elderly.
if you
that's
want to
Let's
send somebody.
yeah. Where did you go? Where did you guys leave him? He was alive when you left him, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he was badly
Wow.
injured, but we left him there in their care to take care of him 9 days. They thought before he'd be up and running again. But they thought that he would be okay.
So the Cyber Knight, Galahad, he he looks over at Albert Ross and he says, "Come on in. You don't have to stand over there. We're fine. We're fine." And he sits back, calms down a little bit like that, and he says, "Okay, so you," and he points to you, the Techno Wizard, and he says, "Your name is what's your name, sir?"
Age.
Gage. Okay, so you said, what kind of power armor was it flying over? Was it
Samson power armor. It's the same kind of stuff that we saw your guy in.
and he goes, "But Samson power armor doesn't fly."
That's what I got. That's what I saw. I don't know what's going on.
Power armor that was
Okay.
flying by. Just, I'm just letting you know as DM to player there, but it's playing great into the story because you caused mass confusion with the guy. So I mean, keep it rolling if you want. So he kind of looks at you and he says, "But Samson power armor doesn't fly." Looks over at you, Desiree, and he says, "Where'd you lose your arm?" It's just a drastic switch in the tone,
Just like that.
just like that.
Oh, it's a long story. It's been like this for quite a while. I'm sorry for the confusion.
Oh, okay. So it was coalition. Did in the battle, was it coalition versus our guys? And you were saying that all of our guys were dead, right? So there was
Well, we don't know how many were there. So we can't there was a lot of carnage at that site. So we didn't find anyone else alive. That doesn't mean that they aren't alive. They could be elsewhere. They could have run off. They could have. Yeah, we're not saying they're all dead. We're just saying we didn't find anybody else. We only found the one, and we helped him because that was the only one we found.
okay.
We don't leave men, on the ground.
50 dead bodies.
50 dead total.
Around 50. Yeah.
How many did you
So
have there?
1 or 2 are off, maybe, but I think counting, it was about 50.
Well, we had sent 2 glitter boys, 8 Samson power armor, and 10 ground troops to assist in a maneuver with a small little trading town between here and Tolkien. But we hadn't heard anything. I know radios don't work and they're not precise in this area, but that was over a couple days ago. They should have been there, and it was over a couple days ago. They should have been there, and on our way back, we should have gotten some kind of transmission by then, and they sent us out.
Who
We haven't.
sent you out?
Well, our mercenary group sent us out. We have a
You guys are
contract.
mercenaries?
Us out. We have a
You guys
contract.
are
and we fulfill our
mercenaries?
Of course. We are the.
Everybody's got to make a living, Gage.
I guess I've just been living in a bubble too long.
He says, we are the. He goes, we belong to the Golden Shields. We belong to the Golden Shields.
Golden
Oh, we're
Shield.
really sorry about your friends. I wish that we could have saved more of them, but that's all that we found.
And he says, well, any one of them was there. And you said you pulled. He says, well, any one of them was there. And you said you pulled him out of a. How many power armors were down? And he looks right over at you. He says, Wilderness Scout. He's like, how many power armors did you see down?
8.
All 8. Did you see down?
8.
All 8. And you said you pulled the man out of one of the power armors, or he was close to the power armor?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What about the Glitter Boys? Was both Glitter Boys there, or Glitter Boys there, or was there any Glitter Boys left?
There were 2 glitter boys left.
Were they operational?
No, they were not operational.
So he looks over then, and he looks over at you, Newton, and he goes, what about the ground troops, Newton? And he goes, what about the ground troops? Did you see any of those?
There was dozens of bodies. 40, 50 bodies. It was a very gruesome scene, and it's kept me up for almost the last 2 days.
So, as you're saying that, the coalition bastards did they kill? And he's looking all around at everybody.
From what I could tell, there was the wreckage of what maybe have been 4 or 5 UAR-1 enforcer robots, and maybe
Wasn't there a
2
dead
dozen
spider?
foot soldiers.
Go ahead, Gage. I didn't catch what you said there.
Oh, I said, wasn't there a dead spider?
Yeah, there was a heavily damaged spider there.
Wish
There
we had
was-
paid closer attention. Honestly, we didn't think we'd run into anybody that had anything to do with them, so we weren't really. It was mass carnage. It was a gruesome scene.
The wolf owl, the wolfen goes, I am Moonhowl, and it brings me no great pleasure that my brethren are dead, but it makes me great. The little SciTech person's over to the side. He's like, that would explain. Why we've seen so many flybys here. There's lots of Samus patrols. I know the tensions were getting high. We thought we were going to have to engage there, close to Crosshaven, but that would explain a lot. Do you have any coordinates to where this is? Can you give us a description? And she's just kind of looking around at everybody.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can help you figure out how to get back over there. It's not that far. We haven't come that far. If you want to send people back over,
Well,
we just got the
the
heck out of there in case whoever it was came back.
the the
Heck out of there in case whoever it was came back.
the Albert Ross stands up and he says, "Look, I can give you the data disk I got. I took some pictures," he says, "of the situation. Would that help?" And the Cyber Knight would that help? And the Cyber Knight Galahad says, "Absolutely." And he stands up, and the little techie girl, he's like, "Chin, get over here. Let's get this done." And Albert walks over and says, "Let me go get my scanner, and I'll just give you the data, and then that'll give you a little bit better information. Your man is at Grove Springs," he says, and he kind of walks him over to the truck, and they're walking that way. And Moonhowl looks at you guys and says, "This is not the news I wanted. There's a lot of good men there, and the coalition hates everyone that isn't." bringing the end of his vibroblade, and it's a massive blade. And he's kind of looking at you, Jenny, and he's looking over at Newton, and he's like, one day they will pay.
I just kind of shake my head in agreement.
Anybody want to do anything?
I'm just gonna say I'm glad we found you guys and were able to give you a little bit of closure on what happened. We weren't sure we'd find anybody that had any connection to that, but we were just happy to be able to help the guy out.
So the guy that's been real quiet, super distraught, he's leaned up against this vehicle. Which, does anybody have recognized weaponry or pre-riffs knowledge, anything like that?
Hold on. I have
I'm sorry.
recognized weapon quality.
Does anybody else have any pre-riffs knowledge or anything like
I have pre-riffs knowledge of North America.
Okay, why don't you roll that? And Desiree, go ahead and roll your weapons quality.
I fail by a lot.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Did you fail?
I needed to hit 45. I needed to hit 45. Wait, no, but
you
it
got-
says plus 15. So I don't know how that works.
Okay, if it says there's a number that says plus 15, and then it'll say 45 will be what your total is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it says 40, what your total is.
Mm-hmm.
So if it says 45, then you still hit it. You have a 45% chance of recognizing the weapons quality. So you rolled
okay.
a 40. So you recognize that this is a modified version of some type of pre-riffs tank vehicle. It has an MDC cannon on it, and it also has a northern gun type railgun that is set up for a person to ride on top and then fire the railgun. It also has something that you would recognize in your mercenary duty. It has tow missiles. It has the ability to strike aircraft from the ground at a 10-mile range.
Great.
So anyway, that's where that's at. But this man's leaned up against this unit, and he wasn't so concerned about it. And he's cleaning the fingernails out with his knife. And he says, "Coming from up north, where you headed?"
We're heading down south ways. Got some stuff we're trying to figure. Some stuff we're trying to figure out. Got some stuff we need to deliver, and man, that's a sweet rig you got there.
He just kind of says, "Down south ways, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Just running
heading
a
to the
job.
job, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Delivering for the coalition? Job, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Delivering for the coalition?" As it
No.
flicks a nail.
Yeah, there's no love there. I mean, money's money and it spins, but no, I don't want to be taking it from the coalition.
And he flicks a nail and he cleans it a little bit more, and he says, "Are you headed to Crosshaven? Or are you heading further south towards Wykin?"
Why, you want to come with us?
"No, I just like to know who I'm talking to." And he's looking around at all of you. His name's Jack. And he's looking over at you guys, and he says, "Happened upon a coalition battle with our boys, and you happened to pull one of our people off." And he kind of flicks his tongue a little bit, and he says, "Did you find anything good that you took with you?" And
Do
he
you
kind of
normally scavenge the dead, sir?
Are you
Maybe
asking
we need to
Jack
ask
if he
you a
scavenged
few
the dead?
questions.
I'm practical. But then he looks at you. He looks over and he says, "So you held this man's insides in at you, Newton. And he's like, so you got some skills on keeping people alive, huh? Are you a doctor?
I have some paramedic skills. I've been known to mix a hearty herbal remedy or two in my day. And to be quite honest, it doesn't take much skill to keep your finger inside someone's neck as they're bleeding out. It just takes a little bit of fucking balls to keep your hand there.
And this is the first time he smiled. And he says, yeah, it does take balls to keep a man alive, to hold that. And about
Yeah,
that
because
time,
if
the
it
Wolfens,
didn't have any be a woman, right?
the Wolfen jumps in there and he says, all right, razor wire, stop. And he looks over at you, Jack does, and he says, I don't know. You kind of look like a woman to me, as he looks at you, Gage.
Razzing each other for the night. How about we see about eating some victuals and settling down? I know this has been some bad news, but everybody's got to get some rest for tonight. You can measure up later.
The Wolfens walked over to Jack, slaps him on the shoulder, and says, just take it easy, man. These folks are giving us information it would have took us days to figure out, and now we got to know where to go. He says, why don't you run a perimeter around and, do that? And the guy looks over and he says, that's lieutenant to you now. And the Wolfen straightens up almost immediately, says, yes, sir, and starts walking through there. And he looks at you guys and he says, well, you might want to do what that Wolfen says and just sit down and start eating. He says, the commander will be back over soon and it'll get more pleasant. Coming back?
Come on, guys, let's go have a seat. This congeniality doesn't want visitors.
Where did the Wolfen go?
The Wolfen straightened up and went and run a perimeter. He grabbed his weapon. He said, yes, sir. And he took off. So he's probably, you would know that he is you could tell by his outfit and everything like that this man is probably a skilled wilderness scout himself. And so he's probably running perimeter just to make sure nothing gets through, because now they're on a little bit more of an alert of the situation. Anybody else want to have any interactions? Otherwise, I'm going to have Albert and the other two golden shields come back.
Nope, let's go ahead and have him come back. We're not visiting with that guy anymore. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
So as it comes back, Galahad and Albert are talking now, and he's like, well, yeah, I've been to Crosshavens several times, but I've never seen your outfit there. And they're just chittering and everything, and they sit down and everything. And he says, Galahad looks up and he says, Lieutenant, where's Moonhow? And he says, Lieutenant, where's Moonhow? And he says, send him on a perimeter run, sir, to make sure that everything is clear. He's like, oh, good job. And they go back to their conversation. Albert says, I'm glad that I can give you that data and everything. I hope that helps and everything. But we're in a pickle ourselves. These folks are kind of the saviors of a little town up there. We're on our way to Independence to see if we can't help this problem. He kind of points over and he says, that young man helped this problem. He kind of points over and he says, that young man right there, he can probably fill you in a little bit more. And he points kind of right at you, Newton, and says, he's one, him and this other fellow, they kind of figured out this whole situation on what was going on. And we got to get to Independence Independence or somewhere where we can get some coolant, because I think that device is getting low on coolant probably. Which, by the way, how long has it been since you guys checked the device for coolant since you left?
Based on that question, I'm getting time to have the aha moment of, you know what, guys, let's go check that.
I think it's been at least 9 days.
I think that Gage would be correct. So,
And I think I'm gonna want to go check it. while I scratch my head as to how come Mr. Albert, so as one who doesn't share much, he just shared a lot with that guy. So I'm
Well,
gonna go check on it.
just to let you guys know, if you run into a cyber knight, 90% of all cyber knights are principled, really trustworthy, very good people. So you automatically get street cred being with a cyber knight, okay? Because most of the time they're of a principled alignment. The next biggest chunk of them, which I believe is 7 to 8%, are scrupulous. A very rare fallen knight, which is one that's left the path and is starting to do evil things. So just to give you kind of a rundown, and I'm basically just telling you, I've got a couple players here that's not familiar with the Rifts world. So running into a cyber knight instantly gives cred, and running into a cyber knight instantly gives cred, and people tend to talk to a cyber knight a little bit more than they would anybody else. So I hope that makes sense there, Desiree.
It does. I'm just uneasy about that lieutenant, and I really don't want him knowing anything about us because I don't like him.
So does anybody
And I really don't want him knowing anything about us because I don't like him.
so does anybody want to go check this device? Does anybody want to share any other information with Galahad? The device is in the back of Albert's truck because you guys didn't want it in the back of yours. Not that you could fit anything else in the truck because you guys didn't want it in the back of yours. Not that you could fit anything else in the back of your truck right now.
Is it nighttime or is it still day?
It's dark. It's probably 9:30 at night.
Do I remember if I saw? Do I remember if I saw any sets of power armor or machinery that may have coolant in it? Before we, well, like as we got here or not?
You guys don't have any coolant.
As we got here or not?
You guys don't have any coolant that could cool it down. And it's obvious that the vehicle that they're in right now, actually, you know what? The vehicle that they're in does not run on nuclear. It runs on fuel. You can see that from the tailpipes and everything like on fuel. You can see that from the tailpipes and everything like that because it's a you got anybody that's got basic mechanics would know that that's a fuel vehicle. You do know, however, that you do have something that runs on nuclear, and it happens to be in the back of your Mountaineer right now. And it happens to be in the back of your Mountaineer right now. But again, you guys are being quiet about that, so I'm going to respect that and not say anything different about that. So, to answer more of your question is no, you've not run across anything that would have anything. Is no, you've not run across anything that would have any kind of coolant to try to cool that unit down.
Okay.
But you also don't know what percentage it's at either. So
Yeah,
'cause you never
Gage
know.
would go and check on it. For sure.
Okay. Are you just gonna?
No, I'm gonna put my frickin' armor on. Hopefully, out of earshot of everybody else.
Okay, so you're gonna put your armor Ithon on.
Yep.
Okay. Deduct your PPE. Is anybody else gonna get in there and or put their helmets on and go check it out?
I'll go with him. I don't trust that guy.
That way you have radiation protection.
Yep.
Is anybody gonna tell them that you're about to open something that's putting off a lot of radiation, or?
Well, now that they know and the cat's kind of out of the bag, might be good to tell them. By the way, we're gonna go check that and see where it's at. You guys step back a little bit.
Okay. So they kind of all get behind vehicles and they're like, understood. Albert's filled me in. He says, Lieutenant, helmet up. Corporal Chin, helmet up. And he clicks a little thing on his side, and this wearing a knight's armor.
Oh, that was spiffy.
Yeah. So you go over there, Gage. Yeah, Cyber Knights are cool, by the way, Desiree. So Gage, you go over there and you open it up. Do you remember what the last numbers are?
Percent, I believe.
Okay. So it is setting at right at 42%. Does anybody remember when detonation happens? Because I do, and it's 35 is 35 is critical and unrecoverable. 5 is critical and unrecoverable.
I
So
don't want to stick around here very long. I'm like the
so
lieutenant.
Desiree, do you want to? You guys are going to put this all back together, close it back in. What do
Yep,
you guys want to do?
I'm gonna just take a look, make sure all our
What do
Yep,
you guys want to do?
I'm gonna just take a look, make sure all our stuff is still here. I just don't trust that guy. I'm gonna just check our stuff, make sure our gear's here, kind of take a mental inventory of what we got, because I don't trust him not to come steal our stuff. Guy that didn't even care that his comrades have fallen. What we got, because I don't trust him not to come steal our stuff. Guy that didn't even care that his comrades have fallen. Yeah, you know. That
Yeah.
just kind of rubbed me wrong.
Well,
I'm just checking our
you're
stuff.
you're not that familiar with Albert's vehicle, but it doesn't look like it's been ransacked. Well,
I'm just checking our stuff.
you're not that familiar with Albert's vehicle, but it doesn't look like it's been ransacked or anything has gone through
Okay.
since you're in Albert's vehicle at the moment. Albert's trusted you quite a bit because he didn't walk over here to let you go through. He didn't go with you to set this vehicle. He was kind of comfortable with you guys letting you two to just go over and check it out. So just food for
Maybe he
thought.
has nothing to hide. Good. Matter. I
So
don't know.
Gage, do you want to go back and tell everybody where the thermal?
Good, because that'll give us an excuse to get the heck out of here.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
know that we're a ticking time bomb.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you go back and the Sir Galahad looks at you and says, "Is it safe to undo our helmets?"
Yeah, we
Safe for
put it all
now.
back together.
Something on the side of his head, Gage, and you're fascinated by this. You and Newton would be fascinated, and of course, Desiree, you think it's super cool too. But it just kind of unfolds on his face, and now his face is back. He's still got the top of his head still covered in metal, but his face just kind of kind of really cool. It's very advanced armor. You can see that. You've not ever seen a set of Crusader armor do that before.
Wow,
And that was just for
pretty
you
cool.
guys' notes, go through. But he looks at you and says, "Well, Albert kind of filled me in a little bit there and everything. How much time do you guys? Everything. How much time do you guys folks have?"
Not enough.
Yeah, we really
Unle-
just were stopping for the
Unless we can
night.
get
We
some
were
more.
coolant.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, Gage, and then we'll go with Newton because you all three tried to talk at the same time. So go ahead, Gage.
Uh,
You tried to talk at the same time. So go ahead, Gage.
Gage said, not enough, and not without more coolant.
Okay, Newton.
You know what? I wasn't saying anything. I think you might have just heard me picking up my pen and scratching some notes. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And then scratching some notes. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I might have just leaned a little bit in too close to my microphone whenever I was doing such.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you had time. Okay, so he basically says, "Well, if you guys make it to Crosshaven," and he looks up and, "Well, if you guys make it to Crosshaven," and he looks up and he says, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to make you a deal." And he says, "As much as I hate to be a man down, but it doesn't sound like we're going to find a whole lot out there. I send a note saying with Moonhowl, if you guys would take Moonhowl back Crosshaven, I'll make sure that you guys get filled up on coolant to make it to Independence. That way, Moonhowl can report this information directly to our commander and that familiar with that town. But I believe that in a good world, and we're trying to make it a better place. And so, if you guys will help me get this information back to our commander, I'll make sure that you're topped up and can make it safely to Independence. Will that work for you guys?
Another passenger.
I think it's worth it just for the coolant.
I
Okay.
don't think he's going to be riding with us. What the commander said is that he would send Moonhowl ahead to Crosshaven, let them know to fill us up.
They're only in one vehicle. Galahad's is basically going to tell you that he is going to go ahead and head that way to that site and see if he can't pick up the man that's hurt, see who he is, and also see if what they can look at from the salvage, or not, maybe their wrecking crew can get there and beat the coalition to the site. He finds that unlikely, but if they already had if they had people around looking at it, then it's very unlikely that they'll be able to beat the coalition at the site. But at least he'd like to beat the coalition at the site. But at least he'd like to have a look for himself. So anyway, sorry if I didn't say that very well, but he does want the Wolfen to ride with you.
And that's fine if that's what he wants. What I was saying, I was just thinking, I was like, Wolfen usually travel. I was just thinking, I was like, Wolfen usually travel faster on foot, and they probably don't like riding in vehicles, but maybe this one does. I don't know.
Well, this one definitely. I mean, he could run ahead, but I think he wants to ride. Definitely. I mean, he could run ahead, but I think he wants to ride with. The commander wants him to ride with you guys. So is the feeling that I'm getting.
Yeah,
But
and
then
that's fine. I was like, and what I was thinking was like, he could probably jog beside us and go faster than us. Probably jog beside us and go faster than us because we're going to be slow in this vehicle. We can't go too fast in this bumpy terrain. That's all I was thinking. If that's not the case, then we're going to be on time. That's fine.
So, are you guys in agreement with that deal? So, are you guys in agreement with that deal?
Yeah, we need the coolant. So,
Yep.
and at
Just
least
to the
it's not
town
from
of
the
Crosshaven,
lieutenant
though.
guy.
Yeah, let's.
As long as Moonhowl's okay with it, I guess we're okay. I guess we're okay with it.
Well, Moonhowl is not there right now. He has been put out walking perimeter at the moment. But it's not that he would have much of a say in it because he is in a military structure, and they tend to have to follow orders.
Mhm.
Do you guys just want to go to sleep? Do you want to engage with any of these guys, or I'll let you guys role play it however you want. And if you want to just skip to morning when you guys are splitting up, we can go from there. You just tell me what you want to do.
Bed sounds fine, but May Chen first before going to bed.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that role play in just a second. Does anybody else want to do anything? Newton or
Specifically do something? No. What I would like to do is tell the party that I think, this is a great idea that we're getting coolant, but, we need to be on our kind of modified good behavior. And if we're going to keep our mouths quiet about certain things that are in our possession, we should make sure that everybody keeps their mouth quiet about things in our possession, because this guy's probably going to be getting as much intel and going along with us to keep an eye on us as possible.
Yeah, I get the same feeling. I was already thinking the same thing, is that he's probably coming along with us just as much to keep an eye on us as to
Absolutely.
get to where he's going. So,
Yeah, best to be same page.
Okay. Let me ask you guys here real quick just to see, has anybody told Robert? Here real quick just to see, has anybody told Robert or Albert not to say anything?
I think I need to go have a little chat with Albert because I I was concerned
Okay.
about Mr. Lieutenant Jerk and
Okay.
about Mr. Lieutenant Jerk, and I think that that I'm going to talk to Albert anyway and say, the Cyber Knight guy seems pretty cool.
Okay.
However, his lieutenant.
I'll let you role play that in just a second.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'll let you role play that in just a second.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to let Gage go first with his little role play with Maya Chin, and let him have that for a couple minutes, and then we'll switch over to you.
Okay.
And then I'll get last actions of a couple minutes, and then we'll switch over to you.
Okay.
And then I'll get last actions before morning. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Gage. You see Maya Chin. She's over there. She's looking. She's in the side panel of the vehicle, and she is tinkering things with the gauges and stuff. She's got some pretty cool things like that, and she's just kind of
Their
intently looking at
vehicle,
that.
not ours, right?
Their vehicle, yes.
Okay.
Looks like she's doing checks before they bed down.
Going.
Uh, I'm looking at the calibrations of the hydraulic pressure to this track.
Oh. Okay. You're not must be your grandma or your mom, I guess.
No,
I don't
no,
know how old you are.
I I'm 24.
Yeah, well, she'd be old enough to be your mom or your grandma, depending on when your mom gave birth to you, how old she was. Anyways,
She tentatively reaches up and real fast she reaches over. And I mean, it's faster than what you can really grasp. And she's pinching the leather on your coat. She's looking at. She's like, uh, uh, do you right? Do you fly? Uh, um, do
haven't done it in a while. Misplaced my
uh,
board. Can't find it.
oh 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 do you do magic, right?
Sometimes.
And she kind of turns back in there and she checks the gauge and she says, a lot of people don't understand us.
I don't believe a lot of people don't understand a lot of people. But yes, I agree.
And she says, when I touch a machine, I know everything about it.
Well, that's handy.
Do you talk to machines?
Sometimes.
Did you know that this machine that we're in is 350 years old?
No. But that if this is free riffs technology.
Oh, it is. It tells me stories.
Really? Huh. Never thought about that. Maybe I have some technology in order to tell me some stories. I only use like the newer stuff, not the old stuff. But maybe when I find some old stuff, I could ask that. Be interesting. Thanks for that
If you
info.
ever always
Yes.
ask your machines. She kind of looks a little ask your machines. She kind of looks a little dreamy out there, like she's talking to the machine right now. And you can sense a little bit that she may be psionic kind of coming off. You can feel an energy source coming off her. She's not hiding it from you. An energy source coming off her. She's not hiding it from you. But she's almost like she's in a trance. And it's a trance you've probably seen before. She may be talking to this machine right now.
Simultaneously?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
You mean she's talking to it simultaneously while she's talking with me? You mean she's talking to it simultaneously while she's talking with me?
Partly.
Okay.
She says, "This machine's seen the great cataclysm."
Hmm. That's interesting. What kind of stories is it telling?
The machine says that it was part of a bigger area, and that it lived in a place called Alabama.
Alabama.
And about that time, the lieutenant walks around the corner. Jack goes, "Corporal, you have things to do. We're going to roll out in the morning. Quit that lollygagging." And he kind of gives you a stare. He says, "You probably need to get some sleep too, young lady." And he turns around and walks back around the machine. Walks back around the machine.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, he's gone unless you're chasing him
No,
down.
no. I'm talking to Chen.
Hmm.
Is he always that way?
Only when
Rude.
he's awake. She goes,
Aha. I saw what you
"Only
did
when he's
there.
awake.
I saw what you
Only
did
when he's
there.
awake."
Good one.
She says, "I got to get back to work. I don't want the lieutenant mad at me anymore."
Uh, what what does he do? I get the wolf and the scout. The wolf and the scout nature. And Galahad basically introduced himself as a cyber knight. You're some kind of psychic tech warrior type person. What's Jack's deal? What does he? All I see is that he's rude and he points fingers.
The lieutenant is a very brave warrior. I've seen him. I've seen him fight in situations that most people wouldn't, and I've seen him kill a many a man. And I've only been with the company for 2 years. Yeah, but I really got to get back to work before he comes back.
All right. Well, she had the same last name, Chen, the doctor. That
Yes.
was in that village. That's why I thought that you might be related. That's why I came to ask that. And then if you need to get back to whatever you're doing, I want to talk. You can find me later.
Well, it was good talking to you again. Have a good night, and don't
You
forget
as
to
well.
talk to the machines.
Yep, I'm going to take that with me. Thank you very much.
All right. Involved with that while she's talking to Albert, Jenny, or Newton, or is it just going to be Desiree?
I think it might just be Desiree. I don't really have anything to really discuss with these folks.
Okay.
Yeah, she's probably the most passionate about it. So
Okay. So, Desiree, it's time to talk to Albert Ross. So
Okay.
Albert is headed to the vehicle, and you approach him, and he turns back and he gives you a smile. It's almost a knowing smile, but he smiles at a little half grin.
Just wanted to talk to you about a bit of a gut feeling I got. Um, you know, mm, Cyber Knight seems like a nice guy, and I trust your judgment on him. It did surprise what it is we've got. Uh, my concern though is his lieutenant is a little unhinged. Everybody else here seems pretty nice, but that lieutenant, I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. Everyone else was upset about their comrades falling, but him, he's sitting there picking his nails and just basically being awful. And I think we ought to be a little careful about what we relate to these people, not because the rest of them, because I don't trust that lieutenant. So,
He he,
you know,
he
what's done is
smiled.
done, but
He
that guy's a jerk.
he's smiling at you real big, and he says, "Come with me," and he opens the back of of his uh, his deuce and a half, and he pulls of his deuce and a half, and he pulls down the step and he climbs up. He says, "Come on up in here real quick. We'll talk about this a little more."
I'll be right back.
All
Okay.
right.
So you head up in there, and he says, he says, "Close the door," and he pulls out a little bucket from underneath one of the side rails, and he slides it out and says, "Sit." And he pulls it out, and he says, "You're a mercenary. You've got it written all over you. I could tell that from I could tell that from the first time we really met." He says, "I've been trading, and I'm from a family of traders." And he says, "The first thing that they all want to know is what you're doing. The second thing you want to know, especially since you guys dropped the information, because I kind of heard what happened over there, and Gage just started vomiting and almost got us into a firefight right off the
Yeah,
top."
that he did. That he did.
He said, "When I realized,"
He did. That he did.
he said, "when I realized there was a cyber knight can be dealt with, but I had to assess whether he was a good person or not. And he was. And he is, what I can tell. But as far as it is, I didn't tell him anything. It is, I didn't tell him anything about what you got in the back of your vehicle. And I sure as crud aren't going to tell any of his men anything. And I only told him stuff to get what we needed to keep going.
Fair
And
enough. Fair
and
enough.
I hope that didn't step on your toes too much, or the other party, because you guys are seeming like good folk, and I really, really am outstandingly pleased that there are good folk in the world willing to help people. I was hoping that they would make a deal of some type, because they already are going to report what we look like, everything about it, everything we say. And my thinking is that if we put out a little effort to help them out, maybe they will help us out. And it looks like it's going to head that way. It's a trader's code,
Fair
especially
enough.
since while I was talking to the Golden Shield stands ready to defend those who cannot defend themselves, while striking down the monsters that would prey upon the innocent. We are the mercenaries, but we are not without honor. And that's from their commander, Sarah Vex. And when I read up the first thing, I knew, I knew that we could trust them with the little bit of information about what we're carrying. And maybe they would understand and it was my hopes that maybe they would understand to just let us go on our way. That's my thought, Desiree. I didn't mean anything to get you guys worried.
Well, and I wasn't so worried, more than surprised. I was just surprised. Because I tend to hold things close to the chest until it's time, and until I get to know who it is we're talking to. So I was just a little surprised, but I want to make sure we don't give too much information to that other guy, because he doesn't strike me the same way. So there may be somebody a little different in there. Strike me the same way. So there may be somebody a little different in there in their ranks. I don't know. I don't see how he fits. But I sure don't want to give him any extra information. So I appreciate you keeping it. But I sure don't want to give him any extra information. So I appreciate you keeping it close as far as what we got in the back. I definitely think they would be a little emotional if they found out that we had that. Seeing as how that belonged to their comrade, that would probably be we had that. Seeing as how that belonged to their comrade, that would probably be something they wanted back. So
He
glad you
does
didn't say anything about that.
he does the motion where he goes, my lips are sealed with the little lock and key, and he throws the key away. My lips are sealed with the little lock and key, and he throws the key away, type thing.
Perfect.
And he says, I'm not telling him anything because I'm with you guys, and I'm just as much liable by the court of wilderness law.
Okay. Okay. Well, and I want my gut feeling, because I've been around a lot of bad people, and this guy, he's bad. He's bad news. I don't like him. So
Back.
just wanting you to be aware.
Okay. Well, are you satisfied with the exchange? So the morning comes. That vehicle is fired up across the way. They've already tore down what little camp they set up. Galahad walks over and hands a data file to the Wolfen, and the Wolfen's like, "Where can I
Here.
doing that?" And Albert doesn't miss a beat. He says, "Oh, you're with me. You're with me. You can either ride in the back or ride in the side, or you can stow your gear in the back, or you can put it up here. Are you going to be comfy enough up here? You're pretty tall." Arm says, "I know you will," and he looks back. He looks back at you, Desiree, and he gives you a grin, the biggest poop-eating grin in the world. And he says, "You just jump on up in here. I'll take care of this." So he humorously squeezes into the cockpit of that truck. Good thing it's a deuce and a half. Squeezes into the cockpit of that truck. Good thing it's a deuce and a half and it's get pretty big. And he throws his gear in the back, and Galahad wishes you well. And the Maya kind of looks at you, Gage, and she kind of just gives you the little wave, and she jumps in the wave, and she jumps in the side before you can even respond of her vehicle. And Jack is up on top, and he's surveying you guys. He's on the rail gun, riding on top, and he just kind of just lovingly pats it as he looks at you guys. Galahad says, "I wish you guys well, and just let everybody know what's going on, and maybe our paths will cross again." And he kind of waves at you all, and he jumps in the side of his vehicle, and it starts to pull away. And I'm assuming you guys are pulling out, heading the opposite way.
Yep. We need to get back on track.
Okay. Which one of you's driving?
I usually drive.
Okay.
Turn.
I'll take second shift. You can drive.
Okay.
So you guys know that you're about 2.5 days roughly out of Crosshaven. I'm just going to role play and ask any questions. You can ask the Wolfen questions. You can ask Albert questions. You could talk to each other to get to know your characters better. Whatever you want to do, but I'll give you guys a chance to role play that in between. So I'm going to go ahead and make the first roll. Okay, you make it all day. Be out of the vehicle. He actually is volunteering to secure the area and run around a little bit. So you guys have set up a camp. You feel safe enough. Albert feels safe enough to have a fire tonight, unless anybody objects.
Seen anything dangerous for a while, so we got a Wolfen with us.
Okay. So it's night right before the guys head to bed. Moonhouse sits down, and he looks right at Jenny, and he says, "Where are you from?"
All right. So I grew up around Tolkien area, and I've just kind of, ever since I was young, been interested in the wilderness and the in the wilderness and the life of the Fays and everything.
There's something magical about being called out into the wild, looking at the beautiful things of the world. Don't you agree?
Well, actually, magic is kind of what I was kind of getting away from. Well, actually, magic is kind of what I was kind of getting away from. Everyone I knew, except for me and maybe a few others, were all magical and felt kind of isolated. The forest is kind of what drew me
Well, I wasn't saying that.
isolated. The forest is kind of what drew me.
Well, I wasn't saying that it was magical as magical. I said it was. I meant it more as magical in the air. I realized that we live on a very magical world. Realized that we live on a very magical world. Where I came from, it was very much different than here.
I agree with that then. Have you heard of Haven's Rest?
I believe it's south of Tolkien. Am I correct?
Yeah, southeast.
Am I correct?
Yeah, southeast, about 80 miles. That's my hometown.
I don't believe I've ever been there, but I hear that Tolkien is a place of freedom, and it doesn't hold any prejudice, doesn't hold any prejudices and racism. Is that true? And he kind of looks at everybody here, and he's just kind of looking around. Is that true?
Well, people seem to be a bit nicer there, I think. It's true that there's a lot of I think. It's true that there's a lot of racism in some parts.
Hmm.
It's definitely given me a life beyond what I knew back home. So I'm always grateful for it.
Indeed. Indeed. Albert says he kind of. Albert says he kind of chimes in there, and he says, all you have to do is just drive somewhere a little bit different and you see a whole different world. And that's true of everywhere I've been. And he doesn't say much more. Does anybody else want to ask any questions?
The Wolfen.
I came, well, I don't rightly remember the place. I was a pup when I came through the rift, but I started in a place called Wyken in South Missouri, what they used to call Missouri, I believe that is. And then Sir Galahad, and he kind of took me under his wing and showed me how to better help myself. He's a good man, and I've been with the Golden Shields now for a long time.
Yeah, I got on my nerves. Hopefully he's not always that mean to you.
If you could visibly see the stickiness on his face, his long snout, being a wolf head type thing, it physically there, and he kind of chuckles and he says, Jack just
That
Jack, he's fought hard most of his life. He his family was in the Chi-town burbs, and he enlisted as a grunt into the coalition army, and and he worked his way up and got a sponsorship as a lieutenant because he impressed his officers so much, and he believed every word the coalition said. But then he made his his captain mad one time. He never really told us what he made him mad, but he was sent to the St. Louis Arch zone, from what I understand
hmm.
from what Galahad had said. And he came back a changed man. And he came back a changed man. And he's the one that single-handedly saved our squad one time. Well, frankly, he's probably the most ruthless killer in our squad.
I'd believe
He
that.
killed he
I'd believe
he
that.
killed he killed 3 brood kill demons all by himself, and that is something that I couldn't even attempt to do.
Yeah, he definitely. I could see him doing some damage.
Not much for DBs either. I think the only reason that he isn't in the coalition anymore is he got tired of the demon gate and he left. I still don't think he likes magic users or my kind or anybody that's not human. I think when he has a equality policy,
Well, that's nice, though. Nice to have something like that in place.
I don't know. And he says, sometimes I think it causes more problems because forcing people, and he says, still for a moment.
So are you looking to leave? Because that's what it sounds like to me. I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4 over here.
No, it's just when you, and you can tell he's uncomfortable, but he goes ahead and says it. He says, when you force somebody to be good, you build resentment because you remove their choice.
That's
And I'll
logical.
just, and when you remove a man's choice, it causes more tension and more problems. And he just shakes his head up and down. He's kind of nodding. So, also want to have an engagement, asking Albert or Moonhowl. Anybody want to ask Moonhowl anything Albert?
So, you're pointing at Moonhole. You're from Wykean. You're from Wykean. Pointing at Penny. You said you're from Falcon something.
Who are you talking to, Albert?
I'm just talking out loud to everybody, pointing and talking and stuff. Where's everyone else from? Talking and stuff. Where's everyone else from? Curiosity. Call it.
Are you asking Moonhowl where the rest of his company was from? Or are you asking all of us?
I'm asking anyone that's there.
Oh, I'm from everywhere.
Is that a
Oh, I'm from everywhere.
is that a place in Indiana?
It could be. I think I've been there too.
Everywhere, Indiana.
I kind of told him already. I'm from Haven's Rest. I don't know if you guys would know it.
I think I've been through there.
Like you
Nice
said,
little
Falkland's
town.
Rest.
Do you miss it?
Well, I guess so. I definitely miss my family there, but I've grown to love being alone and just kind of doing these jobs. So I'm happy I'm here.
Good. Purpose is important.
Well,
Albert looks up and he says, I'm from Quebec.
Well, you're from a long way away.
I am. My family was traders and they've been trading up and down and decided to get away from that area. Don't miss the snow.
Here it gets pretty deep there.
It can, but I tell you what, I really don't miss is the Zytetics.
The what?
The bugs.
Well,
The bugs up north, right? That's what
Ah.
you're talking about?
yeah, we get
yeah.
those down here too. Sometimes.
Well, they're growing out west and sail across one of the Great Lakes, and you're always getting zoomed, as he says. So my family let out and head over this way.
Yeah, a lot of people pronounce them differently. I heard it say Zytekicks, all kinds of weird pronunciations.
Anything with the word ticks in it, I'm out.
I seen a picture of him one time, and I don't want to see more than just a picture.
Where'd you
It was like a 10-foot tall bug monster man.
see a
It was,
picture?
yeah, it was a very tall picture, yes.
Where were you from? Where you saw a picture?
Well, I saw a picture whenever I was traveling through the burbs. up north, but where I'm from originally, just a small town in the hills of the Appalachian Mountain. No name, but eventually I just outgrew it. So I started traveling, learned, went up north, learned, been here, been there, kind of like dandelion, go where the wind blows. When it's time to set up roots, I'll find my spot.
Appalachians are pretty. I've been through there.
That's the only thing I miss about it. You don't get the clean air and just the change of the seasons here in the city that you do in the mountain. The air tastes different.
Yeah, I guess no
Albert,
matter where we're from, all from different places, but you always long for a little bit of home.
A little bit.
Moonhouse, lots of things taste different around here too. And he chuckles a little bit. And he stands up and he says, "It's been a pleasure. I'm going to stretch out and get some sleep. I'll share watch with one of you guys later. Just somebody tap me when they're ready to have some company." And Albert says, I got to let that old battery recharge, he says. And he stretches real big and he says, I'll see you guys in the morning. So,
Good night, Albert.
unless anybody, oh, well, okay. Does anybody want to have any more interaction? Okay. Does anybody want to have any more interactions or?
Yeah, I think that's a good signal that it's time for us to wind down, figure out who's sitting up for the night, first shift.
Okay. So if you guys just do a 2-hour rotation now that the Moon Hollow's in the rotation, everybody can get a good 2-hour rotation now that the Moon Hollow's in the rotation. Everybody can get a good solid 6. You can recover your PPE and everything if you spend any. You guys do notice that and if I'm wrong here, Gage, correct me, but Gage is starting to intricately put some crystals into a device, and he's starting to kind of makeshift something together. But that he's always fiddling with something, but he's starting to work on something just to kind of let you guys know if you were looking around. Well, I've already rolled till morning. You have no encounters, so you can get up and we can roll for the next day if you want.
All
Sounds
righty.
like a plan.
So as you're going along, you get up in the morning and everything like that. You jump in your vehicles. Moon Hollow, poor fellow, he traps himself inside that. Albert laughs at him, and you guys take off. And about an hour down the road, you pass a tractor and a cart being pulled, and the folks they look over at you and they kind of give a half-hearted wave as they go down a little road, and the road's wide
Must be
and
getting close.
getting closer to something. Yeah, you go for about another 5 hours or so, and it's becoming more and more. There's little farms on the side of the road, little farmhouses, and Albert comes over the radio going, "Yeah, we're coming back into sit by Crosshaven quite a bit. You'll see. We might even see a little area, but they do a lot of trading with independents on food products. So their main source is is trading post. Maybe there's a dang good mechanic here and everything, and at Crosshaven, and they do a lot of agricultural stuff. But I've never seen these golden shields before," he says.
Golden shields. You talking about the town people wearing them?
No, the mercenary company.
Mercenary.
Um,
Okay.
what Albert would have
Wearing them?
No, the mercenary company.
Mercenary.
Um,
Okay.
what Albert would have relayed to you guys over the course is that the mercenary company is set up on the outside of Crosshaven's city. They've actually built a small encampment there, temporary encampment, but they've built a small encampment there, temporary encampment, but they've built a small encampment. They are kind of defending the area and doing sweeps around it. Nobody really knows why, but they said that they're there for the good of the people, and obeyed the they're there for the good of the people, and they obeyed the laws of Crosshaven. and they're not in the city. They only send so many people into the city at a certain point. And Moonhowl confirms that they're there under contract and that they're going back and forth between this is the farthest south that they come, but they're coming back and forth from Tolkien to this route. But they've been stationed here to help defend the area and look for supernatural or any other sources that would cause problems. For a Moonhowl would have said over the course of the bit. So in the last couple days of travel. So Albert says that you guys, if you wanted to push, you could be in Crosshaven by probably 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, or they could pull over. Up to you. What do you guys think?
How's everybody feeling?
Go ahead, Newton.
I was going to say I'm fine to push through the night.
Okay,
Well,
go ahead, Gage.
We could stop and get some chow.
We could, but I'm worried about needing that coolant, and I don't know how long.
We only have 7%. Can we check the coolant before we even do anything? The last thing we want to do is take a ticking time bomb into a city. Even if it's not a city, it's still a city.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, there's some place where we can check that without.
Yeah, it's pretty open right now. There's not people around where you're at currently. You could pull over and check it if you wanted.
I
Let's
think we
do that
should.
and see if we have time to stop or if we should push through.
Okay. Who's going to check it?
Well, first we got to radio over to Howard.
Through.
Okay. Who's going to check it?
Well, first we got to radio over to Howard and let him know what we're thinking, because it's in his vehicle.
Okay. Albert says, sure, absolutely. And he pulls it on over and says he needs to stretch his legs anyway. And you hear Moonhowl and says he needs to stretch his legs anyway. And you hear Moonhowl and they're adamantly second that motion that he needs to stretch. Albert walks around back and opens it up for you, and whoever's going to go in and do the check-in can go in and do the check-in.
I'll do it.
Going to go in and do the check-in can go in and do the check-in.
I'll do it. Yes, my armor of Itham.
Okay. All right. Anybody else going with him?
I'll let him check it.
Okay.
I don't need two
Gage-
sets of eyeballs.
Gage, you go up in there.
Mhm.
I need you to roll me a D100 while you're opening. Roll me a D100 while you're opening the unit.
Did I roll it in the wrong spot? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Go down to dice rolls. You can use that count though. Let's see, 49.
Mhm.
Okay. So you open it up and it is, let's see, I believe it was at 40. Did I come through there? Everybody still
Yeah,
there?
you
You
did.
said at 40.
Yeah, it's at
how-
40 now.
How long was our trip from the last time we checked to here? Time wise.
It just barely, it's almost 2 days.
How far left do we have to go?
Plus, there's all the bureaucratic bullshit that we got to go through too. I guess we're pushing through just to make sure that we
Yeah.
got enough time to get this fixed.
I think that's wise.
Okay. Everybody agree
Maybe-
with that?
Maybe on the way back we could stop.
Okay. As the evening goes along, I was very, very much was appreciative of that stop. He needed to run around for a few minutes. There's no encounters, and what you see is you cross a hill, and this is what you would see if it wasn't dark. But
Where'd
you
just
can
put
see Tolkien game payer said you
Got
can
it.
see
Okay.
that there's lights on these towers. Any kind of imaging and stuff. There's an encampment to the side of this. It is surprisingly there is a wall and four towers around this is set up. As you pull in, you guys notice that each tower has rail guns on top of the towers.
My goodness.
Well, out in the wilderness.
Mhm.
The wall itself isn't. It looks like it's a mega. The wall itself isn't. It looks like it's a mega damaged structure, but it may not be the best material as you drive in. And there is definitely a mercenary camp, roughly around 50 people strong. There are three glitter boys standing. There are three glitter boys standing outside. There is some tanks, a couple of Samson power armors. There is a Samus power armor that's been modified and painted in the company colors. A whole bustle of people modified and painted in the company colors. A whole bustle of people walking around. Albert comes over the radio and says, Moonhowl wants us to pull over here next to this this area here so that he can let his commander know what's going on and see about getting us some coolant. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think we should probably do that, he says.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you get there. There's a bustle of activity. There's people going around. There's humans. There's some DBs. You gauge. Also, does anybody have detect supernatural?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Your perception goes off. You feel it. There is some very, very powerful magic here with this company. It's almost a little bit eerie in a way. First location, you're stopped by a man, and there is a guy that walks up and he taps on the window with Albert. They exchange a few words, and then Albert comes across the radio and he says, they want us to pull forward 100 feet and then shut the vehicle in. Albert starts moving his vehicle. He's driving forward. What are you guys going to do?
Follow.
Okay. You're not stopped or anything. There's nobody, seems to be hostile or anything like that. They just kind of they kind of wave you on through. There's a wave through as you drive by him. He gives some kind of signal as he points towards your guys' truck. He's got some kind of hand signal. You don't really recognize it, but he gives definitely a signal. You can see that Desiree and whoever else is sitting up. So drives up. You don't do that. Albert and the Wolfen are out. The Moonhowl has walked over around with Albert, and they are talking to a human guy. He is obviously animately waving his arms, and the juicer looks back at your vehicle, kind of just listening to Albert, but he's staring intently at your vehicle right now.
At our vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, a little uncomfortable now.
Do what now?
I said that makes me a little uncomfortable now.
He anything?
What does the juicer look like he's about to start doing?
He's staring at you guys. There's no smiles on his face, that's for sure. And Albert is being animate and talking and trying to smile, and this guy is having nothing of it right this moment. And the Wolfen's talking. You can't hear what he's saying, but his truck. Does anybody want to do anything?
Well, we can't just speed off and leave Albert with the device, even though
Okay.
my gut's telling me something's not right.
So
Yep.
the juicer looks over and he waves. The juicer looks over and he waves his finger, and a guy comes over to the side, and he's running right up to the side of your driver's side door.
Okay, well,
Are you going to
I'm
roll
gonna
down the
crack-
window?
I'm going to roll down the window.
Are you going to
I'm
roll
gonna
down the
crack-
window?
I'm going to roll down the window so that I can hear what he has to say, but I'm not rolling it all the way down where you can grab anybody. What's the
He,
problem?
He goes, the major says that you need to get out of the vehicle. You were ordered to get out of the vehicle when you got over here.
The problem we
You were ordered to get out of the vehicle when you got over here.
the problem we have is in the other
So-
vehicle.
The sergeant major said that all people needed to evacuate the vehicle or exit the vehicle.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
What do we need to exit the vehicle for? Or be we being detained?
What do you think?
What do we need to exit the vehicle for? Are we being detained by the military for some reason?
Okay, let me just pause it for just a second here, just in case you guys miss it. The instructions that Albert gave you guys over the radio is they said that you were to pull 100 feet forward and then everybody exit the vehicle. When you guys pulled up, you did not exit the vehicle. I'm just letting you guys know that. I'm sure you know that. That's why you're role playing it this way. But I just wanted to let you know what was going on if you'd forgotten that you were supposed to exit the vehicle. But I'll leave that up to you guys at this point. He says, I didn't ask. Vehicle.
We're gonna have to get out of the vehicle, aren't we, guys?
Yeah.
I don't like it, but let's.
I'll stand outside the vehicle.
Okay.
So you guys are going to get out of the vehicle?
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
out of the vehicle, but I don't like it.
Okay. He does not stop any of you that have the juicer is walking over with Albert and Moonhowl in tow. And they're talking and everything like that. The guy is still not smiling. And he looks over at you and he says, he takes a big deep breath and he says, I hear you guys have a problem.
In that vehicle over there.
He says, I hear that you have a pre-Rifts fusion battery. Mr. Ross was animately telling me that. Is that correct?
It is currently in that vehicle over there. It will explode if you don't put coolant in it. Don't put coolant in it. Soon.
We're kind of in a hurry, which is why we were trying to kind of speed this up a little.
If you got a new one, we can take that and go back to the village we're trying to help. But if you want to take time and repair that one, we can wait.
But we would really like to get it out of the vehicle before it blows everybody to smithereens. That'd be nice.
Corporal, go get Boomer. Tell him to get up here. Tell him to bring some cooler. Tell him to get up here. Tell him to bring some coolant for a NEMA fusion battery. Do it now, Corporal. The guy never cracks a smile. He says, which one of you is taking care of this device? Which one of you is the mechanic?
I look at everybody.
Yeah, we've kind of both been working on it.
You don't have
I
a
muttered.
mechanic.
The
I've been
eyebrow
checking
over
on
his.
it, making sure it's still not going to explode.
So you guys aren't mechanics and you're hauling around a fusion battery that could potentially take out a 13-mile square area. You take out a 13-mile square area.
We're
Yes, sir, that
trying
is
to
why.
help the town.
Yes, sir. That is the whole point, is we're trying to keep this from blowing up a town. We don't know much about it other than it's a ticking time bomb and a bunch of people are going to die if we don't figure something out about this thing. If you've got people that know how to work on it, fantastic. Because we don't want this thing in our car.
He clicks his radio and he says, double time that, Boomer. And this guy runs up just out of nowhere. He's just running to beat all heck. He's like, yeah. He says, yes, Sergeant. He says, did you bring a radiation suit or do you have your helmet? No, Sergeant. Then set the coolant down and retrieve your helmet now. Yes, Sergeant. And the guy turns around, sets it down, and takes off running again. As in at his nose. And he's like, I only have a few more years left of this crap. He's like, you guys can head to the mess. Your mechanics can stay here and oversee this. They can get their meal here in a minute. I'm sure that Commander Vex would. Which is Newton and Gage both going to stay, or is one of you going to stay to oversee this?
Oh, I'm definitely staying. I'm a
Me too.
scientist.
Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk them over, and we'll role play that for a couple minutes, and then I'll switch back to you guys. How's that sound?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. So,
You see Mushroom Cloud. Game over. Woohoo.
yep, it all explodes. You're dead.
See you next week. Yeah.
See you next week.
Cliffhanger. Oh my God.
A is your bodies from the grave. All right. So,
Right?
so basically, the Wolfen and Mr. Ross and Desiree and Jenny all head with the sergeant major. He heads over and he chow. They brought us some good data, and they sound like they're do-gooders. And his demeanor changes all of a sudden. Like he walks through and he doesn't smile, but he's a lot more friendly. And he says, "Get these folks some chow and some drink." He says, "You folks sit right here. I've sent for Commander Vex, and she'll be here." And he walks out of the tent. Moonhowl walks over and grabs a plate of food, and Albert follows him and gets him a nice big drink of something that's brewing. And I'm going to assume that you two are going to go fall in line and get you some chow.
Sounds like a plan. You've been driving all night.
Okay. Line and get you some chow.
Sounds like a plan. You've been driving all night.
Okay. So I'm going to switch back over to Newton and Gage real quick. This guy named Boomer comes running back up with his environmental helmet on, and he grabs this and he says, "You guys ready? I've never seen one of these NEMA batteries, but he says, "You guys ready? I've never seen one of these NEMA batteries, but I hear they're cool."
Oh,
Put your helmet on, Boomer.
yeah, it'll hit you.
He
Okay,
puts it
so-
on.
Another armor of Ethan.
He's got looks like a 5-gallon jug of something, and it's in a jug of something, and it's in a metal container that's got a kind of a readout on the side. And he says, "Let's do it." And you guys go over and you open up the back of Albert's unit. He steps on in, and you guys step on in. And who's going to open it up? On in, and you guys step on in. And who's going to open it up? The containment unit.
Been doing it so far, so I'll open it up.
Okay. So you open it up, and it is down to 38. And the bottom of the containment vessel is splashed.
Go below 35. If it does,
No.
this thing explodes. So
Okay. And he says, "I've only read about these things. How do we open it up by taking these 4 screws out up here?" And he's looking at you guys when he's asking this. So you've been in this, right? He says.
yeah, an ISP for telemechanics,
Okay.
so I can answer his frickin' questions
Okay. So
get this patched up and hopefully full of coolant. Maybe we can patch that frickin' drip.
okay. So unless you guys want to role play this, we're to as high as we'll go, which is 88.
Mhm.
But at that point, it won't go any higher. And that's because there's structural integrity problem. Boomer looks at you and says, "I would love to fix this for you." He says, "But I don't have the gear. You guys are going to have to go to
Is able to handle this?
well, just a second here." He looks at you and says, "Well, I haven't been to Independence much. I went on a park run back there, but Independence has it's got some couple big companies there. Um, it's just kind of neat area, but Titan Robotics is there. That upstart company, what is it? Chipwell's there. Or maybe another one there, but I can't remember right now. Anyway, but he says, yeah, Chipwell might be there or is there, but he says Titan Robotics would probably be there or is there, but he says Titan Robotics would probably be the best to take care of this. See, there's a industrial center there. Oh, what else is there? And you can see he's scratching his head. He says the Techno Wizards there might be able to help you. They could probably put it in for no wizards there might be able to help you. They could probably put it in for you, maybe. Let's see. Gosh. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. And he scratched. I should have told you this right at the start. He says Wilkes has got a division there. They got an outlet. They might be able to. Wilkes has got a division there. They got an outlet. They might be able to point you in the right direction of who could fix this. And he just kind of stares at you guys. Says, "You want to put it back together?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we
Does
can go
anybody
get
want to
some
add?
chow.
Okay.
What's that?
All right. Well, he puts the cap back. he puts the cap back in it. You guys put the circuit board back inside and put the screws back on it. Takes about a whole whopping 5 or 6 minutes, and I'll just put you guys back in there getting chow. How's that sound?
What is available for chow in drinks?
Well, it's somewhere good.
Is there a vegan option? Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you a dice roll on that. Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance.
Is there a vegan option?
You know, there's some green beans and corn. Green beans hasn't been cooked in any beef or pork.
Linus, leave loose.
So you guys get there. Everybody grabs their chow. Moonhow's talking about some stuff with another guy, and this. So a woman walks in. She has guys. I'll get you a picture in just a second. And she says she kind of swings the tent open, and another woman walks in, and she says, "I'm Commander Sarah Vex. Thank you for the information that was brought and your intel. I would like to know details about." Walks right up to the table, and she has her hands behind her back as she is looking all four of you over. What did you see? What was in the air? I need to hear every detail from you guys.
You want
And I'll get
every detail? Are you sure?
yes. And we don't have to
Every detail? Are you sure?
yes. And we don't have to role play that. She will stand there all night. We would be here for another 2 hours because that's how much detail you want. So it would be easier at this point.
I can
What are
donate
you
my
not-
time. What am I not
Well,
telling her?
Yeah, it would.
I can
What are
donate
you
my
not?
time. What am I not
Well,
telling her?
Yeah, it would be easier. What are you guys not going to tell her?
Well, it would be nice if we didn't tell her that, there's something in the back of our car, but chances are they're going to end up finding it because they told us to get out of our car, and chances are they're going to end up finding it because they told us to get out of our car, and they could very easily search our car. So there may not be much use in hiding it.
It's better to come clean. Who the hell did we think we were kidding trying to get away with a suit of freaking power armor to begin with?
So
It's better to come clean. Who the hell did we think we were kidding trying to get away with a suit of freaking power armor to begin with?
So out of the role play for a second, nobody's stuck their head in your guys' vehicle, and they have not gone anywhere you've not told them. And I'm just letting you know that from what you've seen thus far, engage, they haven't searched in your vehicle, and they only got in the back of Albert's vehicle because you was invited. So I'm just leaving that with you for a minute.
You said you need to go OUT?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm talking to my dog. He's staring at me, like expectantly.
He's hungry. We're gonna go ahead. We'll finish this up. We'll just schedule a time and finish it up if you want.
No, no, my wife's gonna take him outside.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So what are you not going to tell her? Because I'm assuming you're going to tell everything you saw. You've already recanted this once, so I don't want to.
I'm going to tell her the same stuff and whatever we can remember, except we're not going to mention that we shoved that stuff in the back of the truck.
Okay.
I think it would be good to hold something.
Is she interviewing us one at a time, or is it all
She's
together?
just all together. It's not an interrogation so much as she just wants precise information, and she any of the details on. It's kind of like a teacher interviewing 4 or 5 kids. You see what I'm saying? And I know that's a bad example, but it's what it is trying to get the information.
Very well. Spends a little ISP. His eyes glaze over in the back of his head as he enacts total recall, and everything comes out of his mouth about everything
That was
he's seen.
convenient.
Yes. But
How does okay?
Before we shoved in the trunk.
it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I'll look it up. We'll go through there, but I don't know if total recall works just like that. But
No, I was being flareful.
oh, okay.
I'm
Um,
saying that's how it would work for him if that was the thing, but I don't know exactly the psionic power for that. Let's see. Total recall is
I
not
think it's
physical,
it,
not be sensitive.
I think there's an outlier to that, but anyway, it's I can look it up later. I mean, we only got a few minutes left anyway. Yeah, we'll check it out later. And like I said, I'm not that worried about it. We're in the role play part of it. So basically, she looks at you and she offers you can stay the night here in her camp. She'd put you up, or you were free to go into town. But she definitely, before you guys leave for Independence, she wanted to express her gratitude by checking your device one more time and make sure it's topped before you go to Independence. And two, she wants to just go over a briefing with you there after she debriefs Moonhow. So she just basically wants to know, are you going to stay in her debriefs Moonhow? So she just basically wants to know, are you going to stay in her encampment tonight? Or are you going to go up to Crosshaven and stay in an inn there?
What do you guys think? Do you want to stay here or do you want to head up the road a bit? You guys think? Do you want to stay here or do you want to head up the road a bit?
I could use a bath.
Bath sounds good. Okay.
So I take it that you're going to head into town then.
That's where the bath is. That's where we're headed.
Okay.
Be where the bath is. That's where we're headed.
Okay.
He wants a bath. It's been a while. And he's in my vehicle. So
Okay.
if he thinks
Well,
he needs a bath, we know he needs a bath.
okay. Well, you guys head on in. Okay. Well, you guys head on into town. The the woman that opened the door or opened the curtain, she opens it again and she looks at you. She kind of just looks you guys all up and down as you leave, and she definitely. Paige, you really feel something very magical. It's very close, very powerful in that camp.
Total
And
recall. I spent the 2 ISP and I rolled the D100. I remembered in full detail, word for word. The character remembers every word he reads. Specific blocks of written and visual information can be recalled in perfect detail at will. Each block of information costs 3 ISP to recall in absolute detail. If all ISP have been expended, the memory is a little fuzzy, so that exact quills may be impossible to recall. Roll percentile to see how much is retained. That's what
now,
I
do you have
I
to
got.
cast that? Do you have to cast that if you want to recall something? Because I thought there was a modifier on that where you had to cast it on the or while you were reading it, and then you have to cast it.
That's word for word. There's a note that says does apply to the spoken word. Those psychics with disability usually have very good memories.
Okay. Like I
I
said, man, I
and
wasn't
no,
that
no,
worried about it right now.
yeah, no. I'm just saying. I was like, Gage would stay there and tell her and answer all her questions for whatever information she needed. Because he got that total recall, he can recall it perfectly clear, every detail.
Sure.
That's all that
I,
is. It's just I
yeah.
can recall everything perfectly.
Okay. Not a
It's
problem.
how well you remember, essentially.
Not a problem. Hey,
Chance, so I'm not me.
let's see here. So, you guys head into town. It's late in the evening, and okay, so you go in the
We're headed in
crossroads.
Crosshaven where
Ind-
we are.
you're in Crosshaven. Independence is 4 days away.
Okay, so that should be enough coolant to get there.
Yes, yes. You should be just fine to get there, but they said they'd check it in the morning for you because they didn't want you to leave without it being topped up, and she may have some more questions for you. So,
Okay.
but she go up to the gate. There is a couple of town guards, if you want to say that. They said leave your vehicles here, and you can walk on in. And they don't ask you to get rid of your mega damage weapons or anything like that. They just say, don't start any trouble here at Crosshaven. Placard, and he said, there's a little placard of kind of where everything is in town, but you can obviously see the inn from down there, and
Gage looks for
the
the
name.
Techno Wizard hut.
Nothing's open at the moment except for the inn, and it's the Crossroads Inn and Tavern. And he says, "Do you need a meal?" He's looking at you guys.
You're going to give us 1,000,000 credits? That's so nice of you.
No, a meal.
Oh,
Meal is
sorry for mishearing you, friend. Yes, food would be great.
Yes.
And
Okay.
a
What
bath.
do we?
all right. So the night's stay is 20 credits. Your meal is 10 credits. How many of you guys want baths?
I do.
I think it's time for I'm getting a bath. It's been a minute.
Okay. Well, luckily you don't have to pay for baths because we're not in the old thing. So you can take your room because it does have plumbing and running water here.
Woohoo!
Sounds
So, and with that, thank you.